Have you ever wondered why in English, asking for a simple cup of coffee can sometimes feel like you're diffusing a bomb? You say the words, the grammar is correct, but the waiter looks at you like you just insulted his ancestors.
It happens all the time. I had a student once, a brilliant engineer from Germany. He walks into a cafe in London and says perfectly clearly, "I want a coffee." And the silence that followed? Deafening. He didn't mean to be rude, he just wanted caffeine.
But in English, being direct is often the same thing as being aggressive. It's a minefield of hidden rules, social codes, and linguistic gymnastics.
Exactly, and that is what we are decoding today. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm Emma.
And I'm Leo. It's great to have you with us for another episode. Today, we are talking about something that might be a little bit scary.
Oh, what's that, Leo? Are we talking about English phrasal verbs again? Because those are definitely scary.
No, it's even more serious. We're talking about the fact that you might be rude in English without even knowing it.
Ouch, that's a tough one. You mean someone could be trying their best to be polite, using words they learned in a textbook, and a native speaker might still think, wow, that person was mean.
Exactly. English is a very soft language. We use a lot of extra words to hide our true intentions or to make requests sound less like commands. If you just translate directly from your native language, especially if you speak a very direct language like Russian, German, or Spanish, you might sound like a drill sergeant.
It's all about the cushioning. In English, we like to put a little pillow around our words so they don't hit the other person too hard. So today, we're looking at common textbook phrases that are grammatically perfect, but socially, well, a bit dangerous.
But before we get into the specific examples, Emma, I think we need to zoom out and explain why English behaves this way. It's not just that we're sensitive. There's actually a sociological theory behind this.
Right, you're talking about politeness theory. Two linguists, Penelope Brown and Stephen Levinson, developed this back in the 80s. They introduced this concept of face.
Not your physical face, right?
No, it's your public self-image. They argued that we all have two types of face. First, there is positive face, which is our desire to be liked and approved of. But then there is negative face.
And negative face sounds bad, but it's actually just the desire to be left alone, right? It's the desire for autonomy. We don't want to be imposed upon.
Precisely, and this is where English speakers get obsessive. In many English-speaking cultures, especially the UK, we are terrified of threatening someone's negative face. We are terrified of imposing. So, every time we ask for something, we have to do linguistic acrobatics to prove we aren't trying to control the other person.
It explains so much. It aligns with Erin Meyer's research in her book, The Culture Map. She classifies cultures based on how they give negative feedback. She points out that while Americans are very low context and explicit with information, they are actually very indirect when it comes to criticism or requests.
It's a weird combination. We say exactly what we mean about facts, but we dance around feelings. So let's see how this theory plays out in real life. Let's start with that classic restaurant scenario you mentioned earlier. The student says, "I want a coffee."
Oh yeah, I want. It's the first verb we learn, right? I want, you want, he wants. But in a service situation, saying I want to a waiter sounds like you're a king demanding something from a servant.
It's very demanding. To a native ear, it sounds like, "Give me this now." It attacks the waiter's negative face because it assumes they have no choice but to serve you. So how do we fix it?
Easy. We use the magic phrases involving modals, could I have or I'd like, and always, always add please at the end. Could I have a latte, please? Sounds 100% better. It turns a command into a polite request.
And notice the intonation. If you say, "I want coffee," with a falling intonation, it's even worse. "Could I have a coffee?" usually goes up at the end. That up sound is friendly.
There's also a really fascinating grammar trick here called the remote past. Have you noticed how we often use the past tense for things happening right now?
Oh, like when someone says, "I was wondering if you could help me." They are wondering right now in the present. Why do they say "I was"?
It's about distance. By putting the verb in the past tense, I was hoping, I was wondering, I wanted to ask, you're creating a little bit of distance between you and the request. It's like saying, I had this thought in the past, but I'm not forcing it on you now. It makes the request feel less immediate and aggressive.
That is such a cool nuance. It's grammar serving a social purpose. Okay, here's the second common trap, and this one happens in offices all the time. Give me the report, or send me the email.
Using the imperative, the direct verb, is a big no-no with colleagues, even if you are the boss. If you say, give me the report, it feels like you're pointing a finger at them.
Instead, we use modal verbs. This is what they are for. Instead of give me, try could you possibly, or would you mind sending me?
Would you mind is like the God mode of politeness in English. If you use would you mind, you can ask for almost anything and sound like a perfect gentleman or lady. Would you mind helping me with this for a second?
Just remember, if someone asks, would you mind? The polite answer is no, or not at all, meaning you don't mind helping. If you say yes, you are actually saying, yes, I do mind, I don't want to help you.
That trips people up constantly. Now, let's talk about disagreements. This is where things get really rude really fast. Imagine someone says an opinion you don't like. A lot of students say, I disagree, or even worse, you are wrong.
Gasps! You are wrong! If someone said that to me in a meeting, I'd be literally shocked. It's so aggressive. It's like a slap in the face. It's a direct attack on my positive face, my desire to be liked and respected.
But in many languages, take Dutch or Russian for example, this is just a normal way to debate. It's viewed as honest and efficient. In English, we have to dance around the disagreement. We use what I call the yes but technique.
Right. You start by pretending to agree a little bit. You say, I see what you mean, but, or that's a good point. However, or my favorite soft disagreement, I'm not so sure about that.
I'm not so sure about that actually means I think you're completely wrong, but it sounds so much nicer. It leaves room for the other person to save face. It's not an attack on them, it's just you being unsure.
Erin Meyer talks about upgraders and downgraders in language. Direct cultures use upgraders, like, you are totally wrong. English speakers use downgraders. We say, I think you might be slightly mistaken, or it's a bit expensive.
We are allergic to absolutes. Okay, number 4. This one is about communication breakdown. When you don't understand someone, what do you say? A lot of people say what, or repeat that.
What is probably the rudest one-syllable word in the English language if you use the wrong tone. It sounds like, what did you just say to me? Like you're looking for a fight.
And repeat that sounds like a military order. Again, it's the imperative.
If you didn't hear someone, the most natural, polite thing to say is, sorry, with a rising intonation. Or, could you say that again, please?
If you're in a more formal setting, you can use I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Didn't catch that is a great idiom for I didn't hear it or I didn't understand it.
This connects to the apology reflex that anthropologist Kate Fox talks about in her book, Watching the English. She found that if you bump into an English person on the street, they will apologize to you.
It's true. We use sorry not just to apologize, but as a way to ask for clarification, to interrupt, or to express sympathy. It's the Swiss Army knife of English politeness.
Let's move to number 5. This happens when you're busy and someone wants to talk to you. A student might say, go away, or I'm busy.
Ouch. Go away is what you say to a stray dog or an annoying younger brother.
If you're at work and you need 10 more minutes, you should say, can I get back to you in a bit? Or, I'm right in the middle of something. Could we talk in 10 minutes?
I'm right in the middle of something is the perfect excuse. It explains why you can't talk without making the other person feel like they are a nuisance.
It's all about acknowledging the other person's existence and feelings. Now, Leo, let's talk about a very specific word that people think is polite, but can actually be quite rude. Actually.
Oh, the actually trap. This is a classic false friend. In many languages, the word that sounds like actually means currently or now. But in English, actually is used to correct someone. Actually, it's not Monday, it's Tuesday.
It can sound very know-it-all, can it? Like you're waiting for the other person to make a mistake so you can jump in and correct them.
Especially if you start the sentence with it. Actually, that's not how you do it. To make it softer, try putting it in the middle of the sentence. Or better yet, use as far as I know, or I might be wrong, but I think.
I might be wrong, but is a great social lubricant. Even if you know for a fact that you are 100% right, saying I might be wrong makes you seem humble and likable.
We've covered I want, give me, you're wrong, what, and go away.
But there's one more thing that makes people sound rude, and it's not even a word. It's the lack of small talk.
Yes, this is what linguists call phatic communication. It's speech that isn't about information. It's about social bonding. In some cultures, you just go straight to the point. You walk up to a colleague and say, "Where's the file?" In English, that's considered very cold.
You have to do the small talk sandwich. You start with the bread. "Hi, how are you? Did you have a good weekend?" Then the meat. "Could you send me that file?" And then the bottom slice of bread. "Thanks. Have a good day."
Without the bread, the hi, and the thanks, the meat of the request feels very heavy and rude. It makes the transaction purely transactional rather than relational.
Emma, I think we should do a little before and after for our listeners. I'll be the textbook student, very direct, very logical, and you be the natural English speaker.
Great idea. Let's do a scenario. Asking a stranger for directions.
Okay, here I go. "Hey, where is the train station? Tell me."
Wow, I feel attacked. Okay, here is the natural version. Excuse me, sorry to bother you, but do you happen to know where the train station is?
Wow, yours was much longer. And look at that structure. "Sorry to bother you," an apology for imposing, "Do you happen to know," which gives them an out in case they don't know.
It's like a dance. Let's do another one. Telling your boss you don't like their idea.
No, I don't like this idea. It is bad.
Oh, Leo, you're fired. Here's the polite version. I see where you're coming from, but I have a few concerns about how this would work in practice. What if we tried another approach?
You see, you didn't even say the word bad or no. You used concerns and another approach.
It's much more professional. And that's what we want for you, our listeners. We want you to be able to express yourself fully without accidentally burning bridges or making enemies.
Exactly. English politeness isn't about being weak, it's about being effective. People are much more likely to help you and listen to you if you use these soft phrases. It lubricates the social machinery.
We've been talking for nearly 20 minutes, and to my mind, this might be one of the most important episodes we've ever done. It's not just vocabulary, it's psychology.
I reckon you're right, Emma. If you ask me, mastering these social nuances is what really separates an intermediate learner from an advanced speaker. You can know all the grammar in the world, but if you don't know how to protect someone's negative face, you will struggle to integrate.
So, your homework for this week. Count how many times you say, I want, and try to change it to, could I have. Pay attention to how people react.
And let us know in the comments, what's a phrase in your native language that sounds perfectly polite, but might be rude if you translate it literally into English? We love to know the differences. We love seeing how different cultures handle this stuff.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who might be accidentally rude.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
See ya.